wonder why the hell so many people are trying to tell me to slow down. Seems like motherfuckers should be shutting the hell up and enjoying the show.
Before we get everything started, I see y'all in the chat. All right, y'all better be hitting the damn wine glass. I hope, listen, I don't know whether or not I'm on cue, okay? I've asked Jasmine and the team to take tonight off, okay? Because tonight is going to be a little different. Now, shout out to everybody in the chat so fast. Yes, it is officially, okay? Fuckery Friday. Now, I see y'all. I did my own makeup today and stuff. Envy is usually here on the beat, but like I said, I asked everybody to take off because I had a very rough 24 hours. I mean, my husband literally just came upstairs and woke me up, and I thought I was in another world. He was like, hey, you going live tonight, right? And I was just like, huh? You ever been asleep so hard and somebody try to wake you up and you don't know what in the hell is going on? So yes. Hold on. Everything good? Check. Okay, cool. They said it's blurry. Okay. He fixed it. He fixed it. He fixed it. All right. Now, for those of y'all that were on live last night, that helped me to rectify a very, 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 very dangerous situation. I want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. I really do, okay? I was at my wit's end. I didn't know what else to do. But for those of y'all that are just coming in, I will explain what happened after, okay? We play this exclusive interview, okay? Now, this exclusive interview don't have anything to do with what happened last night between me and a young woman, okay? But this interview is all the fuckery that we need, okay, for Friday. So since I am unable to perform my usual set, I did bring, and this ain't no low budget, okay? This ain't no low budget stars, all right? This is the real thing, okay? We've had a chance to crack open one of Bravo's newest storylines. Now, I don't know if you guys follow the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, okay? This show will be premiering November 11th, and there's one character in particular, okay, whose storyline is just, it's out there now. Well, I don't think she told Bravo the truth anyway, but her own family member, okay, her name is Mary Cosby? See, he got me calling her damn Martha. I can't even damn remember, okay? Mary Cosby, okay? She's the newest star of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. She married her grandfather at a very, very young age, okay? Now, the entire family, after this marriage took place, kind of dissolved. And one family member came forward, okay, to step up, to tell the truth, and to tell y'all why she's really doing this reality show. Now, this is scandalous, all right? I mean, you know what? I ain't gonna tell y'all no more, okay? Because it's so much, all right? So I need y'all to grab y'all wine. I am not drinking, even though this interview is pre-recorded. I drank the other day. I am not drinking out of respect for Brandy, okay? The young woman that we had a very traumatic incident with last night, okay? So that is why I am taking this one out to be sober. I know she's watching because she's up, she's alert, okay? Hi, Brandy, all right? And yeah, let me go ahead and get this interview started. All right, so here we go. Now remember, this is an exclusive interview from a family member, a very, very, very close family member to Bravo's, Andy Cohen's newest franchise, The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. There is only one black cast member, okay? And this one black cast member is already aired the fuck out, okay? So without further ado, let me go ahead and start this interview. Y'all relax, because it's a lot of bullshit, okay? All right, here we go. Hopefully it starts on time. Samuel Kelly. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
I see you looking all jazzy and everything. Your shirt is kind of remind me of mine that I got on.
Yeah, right. You're open and free. Right.
We didn't even plan for this, and we're matching.
Right. Looking fly all the time. That's what we have to do.
Yes. Now, look, I got a whole bottle for this story here, okay? Because you're drinking the wine.
Okay.
What you drinking on?
Okay. Wait. Hold on a minute. You just tasting it right now.
Yeah.
Because you feel that looks light.
It's a light pour, but it's going to get me ready, you know?
So I'm sipping on some Woodford. I'm sipping on some Woodford.
Woodford, okay.
Some Woodford. Okay. Woodford whiskey. Just real light. Nothing heavy.
Nothing heavy. But the story is heavy.
Right. Because I'm going to go heavy with the story and light on the Woodford.
Okay. Now, you know, Andy Cohen is not going to be ready for this information that you're about to drop. I think you are about to tear an entire hole in Mary Cosby's storyline, okay? She is the newest cast member on the newest franchise of The Real Housewives, okay? And so this is The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. And I mean, she is, I guess, a philanthropist. She's a pastor. You know, she's a wife to her grandfather.
She's my mommy.
How is she your mommy?
She's my mommy. Mommy! Okay, so Mary Martha. Mary Martha is my cousin.
Okay, she's your cousin.
Okay.
But they're going to know her as Mary Cosby. The show premieres on November the 11th. Yes.
Right.
But she didn't tell Andy the whole truth at all.
No, I don't think Andy knows the whole truth, but I just want, if it's Andy that needs to know, if everyone needs to know the truth, I'm going to give it to them. You know, our family tends to be a very quiet group. You know, our family likes to keep things very quiet. You know, most families like to keep things inside their house and whatnot or whatever. But at this point in time, Mary has opened up the doors, you know, and the lights are shining in, you know, and so we just need to air everything out. So
tell us how you are Mary Cosby / Mary Martha's son. Because she married her grandfather, which was her grandmother's second husband.
That's right, but she married my adopted father.
Okay.
Well, so let's back up, okay?
All right.
Mary Martha is my cousin.
Okay.
Okay? All right. When I was born, Rosemary adopted me at 3 weeks.
Okay.
And so at that time...
Which is your grandmother?
It was my grandmother.
Who is now since passed, unfortunately.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And so I became her son, okay?
All right.
And as we go down the road a little bit, if we want to get into it, but so Mary started off as my cousin.
Okay.
When I was adopted, I became her uncle.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
Okay. And then Mary married my adopted father, and now she's my mommy.
The way you say mommy is just so petty.
It's mommy. Mommy. Because, you know, mommy, she's mommy now, right? So shouldn't mommy be taking care of the kids?
She should be going to pick up her grandkids.
I mean, she should be doing something, you know, and you know, because there's paperwork out there. There's paperwork out there that says that each of Rosemary's children was supposed to get 8.33% of the estate.
Okay.
But they're saying that, there at first they said there was no will.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know if you checked your email. I sent you some paperwork.
Oh, you did send me some paperwork, yes.
Oh, yes, but go ahead, you look at it later. It's okay.
I'm going to I'm going to let the winos look over that paperwork, too, just in case you try to cut it back.
Right. Right. So it's 8.33%. And so, but they said there was no will in the paperwork, but then Bravo was told that there was paperwork, that there was a will. And that my cousin, my niece, my mommy Mary, you understand, that there was a will that the caveat was if she agreed that she would receive all the wealth of the family.
Now let's back this up, because I'm trying to understand, how does your niece, your cousin, and now your mommy inherit an entire estate that was worth millions of dollars from your mother, who is actual your grandmother?
Right.
Okay. Now tell us about your grandmother. Her name, where she's from, and how she came into all this money and then met this second piece of shit of a husband.
Okay, so here we go. Her name is Rosemary Redman Cosby. Okay, she's born in Indianapolis, Indiana. From what she has told other people, but in private with me and my brother Demetrius, who's no longer with us. She said that God told her to come to Salt Lake City, Utah. Okay. And so she said she was compelled to do that. Long story short, she started walking from Indianapolis en route to Salt Lake City, Utah. Passing through, started walking, going through sundown towns. And so I think we know what those are, risking going through sundown towns because she was compelled that she was supposed to do that. Came here to Salt Lake City, started her work, and then started, building from there. Okay. You asked the question. I'm sorry? I'm sorry.
Go ahead and finish what you were going to say.
Oh, no. You said what was her work?
Yes.
Oh, so she's a Pentecost. She was Pentecost. Okay. So when she got here, Pentecostal preacher, started a church, Pentecostal church in a Mormon land. Okay. And so that's how that's how that gestated. Okay. And so you asked a question about how does she acquire her wealth? Okay. Yes. So
we're talking about Mary now, your mommy who married your
no. See, we have to start with Rosemary first. That's right. Because
we still are.
I don't even know. That's right, because I don't know if even Mary Martha even works. Okay, because she's a philanthropist. Okay. But I don't know if she's giving anything to the greater good of society.
Well, I see she's hanging out with designers like Louis Vuitton and.
Well, yeah, well, that's because that helps the society. That's helping the national parks.
With your grandmother, who was your mother's money.
Okay, so my mother, my grandmother, okay, she started the church, started some businesses, created businesses so the members in the church could work. And so her hope, as far as what I learned as a child, is that she was creating these scenarios and situations so it would help the people within the church. So because there were some people that were, some of them were not well-to-do, some were on welfare. So the idea was to get them into a situation where they weren't on welfare, and so they were self-sufficient. There were some people she actually tried to fund complete businesses for them, and complete where she would pay the licensing fee for the LLC, paying for the storefront, paying for everything everything that they needed to do the work. And I wasn't there. I'm not privy to how that happened. But in some cases, it just didn't come to be because some of the people that she was working with or she tried to help, they just weren't, I wouldn't say it wasn't a situation of not being educated, but they just weren't motivated to do it.
Well,
some people. Right, some people.
It's not your own money.
Right, so some people are not motivated to to start something on their own. Some people like to step into a system that's already slated.
Right.
And so my mom had an entrepreneurial mindset. So her mind was beginning ground up. So let's go on to Mary now. Mary Martha, my cousin, my mommy.
AdamandEve.com. I'm talking toys, bondage, lingerie, and so much more. Plus, they have 24/7 customer service, so you can order at 3 a.m. if you ain't coming, if you get me, okay? And if something isn't working out, you can send it back within 90 days, no hassle. And if that's not enough, you can also take pleasure in knowing that 20% of their profits goes to help fight the spread of HIV around the world. So go on ahead and log on to AdamandEve.com. Use the code TASHAK for 50% off one item plus free shipping in the U.S. and Canada. Some exclusions apply now, but hurry up and visit AdamandEve.com so they can make you come. The olive leaf extract can reverse high blood pressure and diabetic high blood sugar, or the sugar as some of our grandmamas may call it. It can also kill any nasty little bugs in your bodies like parasites, bacteria, fungi, tumors, and much, much more. And if that's not enough, you can also tell certain cancers like breast, prostate, colon, liver, and skin cancer to take a seat because the olive leaf extract has been known to fight it. And their friend lupus can get it too. So visit myoliveleaf.biz to help get your health in order.
I've been told that finding your perfect match is almost impossible. Almost. Well, guess what, baby? No more swiping left. Because whether you want something big, something small, something new, or you just feel like dumping your old one.
Miss Dee Dee of Imperial South Co. is a licensed Georgia real estate agent who is here to help you to find your dream home or to help you get rid of that old one. No matter if you're a first-time buyer or empty nester looking to downsize, she can help you with all your buying and selling needs. Check out Miss Dee Dee by visiting her website at www.imperialsouthco.com.
No one is going to work harder to get you better results.
See, I enjoy oral sex, but to be honest, some of my experiences have been not pleasing due to lack of proper vaginal hygiene. I went down on this chick once, and the yoni was so good and fresh. It took me on like a whole nother level of just pleasure. So at that moment, I had to stop and ask, what are you using? And she told me, Embrace Pangea Feminine Wash.
We all know that a fresh yoni brings on a whole new level of confidence, so visit EmbracePangea.com, and of course, I got my winos covered for a discount, so use the coupon code TASHAK for 10% off your first order. I want to back up just a tad, because your grandmother, in doing this, when she built her Pentecostal church, real estate, land, she had her hands in different businesses. This is money that she acquired through her philanthropy.
Right. And
her money, not your stepmommy's money. Who's gonna be on this show?
Right. It was Rosemary's. Rosemary built everything. When Rosemary, she started with her 4 kids, and then by the time her life ended, she created an empire.
Wow. How much was she worth when she passed?
Well, apparently, you know, according to Daddy, she said she had nothing. And they went to court, and Mommy didn't have anything. You know, my real mom, she said she didn't have anything. And so we knew there was some, you know, they were hiding assets. They did forge our signatures to control the state and control the money. That that happened, and that type of thing, whatever. So as far as her net worth is considered, I am not privy to that. I think that some of my siblings may know, or some of the people that she was dealing with as far as the business, and they may know, or they may not know. So I'm not privy to that. I cannot say how much she was worth and the value of.
Okay. Now, when she was married to your grandfather, who was her second husband, okay?
Well, that's not my grandfather. That's my daddy.
Your daddy, okay? Who?
I mean, so Daddy didn't come until after Mama or Rosemary was my mom. Daddy came later.
Okay. All right. I want the viewers to follow us because this is a web.
Right. So, so Daddy came later, I think around when I was 3 years old.
And what is his name? I know his last name is Cosby. His
last name is Cosby. His first name is Robert, but we call him Bobby. We call him Bobby or Bob.
Okay.
Because that's his name. Bobby.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who married 4 months after your grandmother, who was your adopted mom, passed away.
Right. Right. And so let's talk about that.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's get into the why.
So there was, yes, there you go. Pork. There you go. There it is.
It's here.
Okay.
It's here.
I'll have one.
Mr. Kelly.
I'll have one too. I'll have one too.
Okay.
Okay. Rosemary dies. All right. We're in a fog. Everything's, we're not really in the place where we need to be or whatever. Long story short, there's been little talkings going on about him and Mary Martha. There's a secret meeting that happened, okay? And someone else in one of the YouTube, in one of the replies or whatever, there was a secret meeting with certain family members.
Okay.
Okay. I was not invited to that meeting. I think you can tell my attitude would have been with that meeting about Mary Martha marrying Bobby.
Okay.
Okay. And so the secret meeting.
Ex-husband.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And so what happened was there was some of the family that agreed and some that did not.
Okay.
Okay. And then we're talking out of the 4 children, and then you're talking Mama's original 4 children, and you're talking about Demetrius and myself.
Okay.
Okay. So we have 6. All right. They didn't invite Demetrius and myself. The 4 kids were invited. Okay. And so I wasn't there, so I can't say who agreed or disagreed. I'm sure that Mary Martha's mother, Rosalind, disagreed. I mean, that would be a natural thing. And so with this disagreement, it ended up splitting up the whole organization, what my mom built and everything else. Okay.
Okay.
And so that's how that played out with that. Okay.
So it was a vote.
Now, yeah.
On your grandfather, who was your daddy, married your cousin, your niece,
right,
and now your mommy, Mary Cosby, the new star of the Bravo show.
My mommy. Yeah, my mommy.
Your mommy. You know she gonna be mad about that. All that work she done had done to stay young, and all that bleaching she done to her skin. I saw the picture.
Right. Right. So here we go. We got 4 months, right?
Okay.
So we go. So I go to visit, right? I go to visit. I hear this talkings or whatever. So I go to visit. Ding dong, knock, knock, knock. I say, hey, tell me the truth. Dad, tell me the truth. Are you trying to marry Mary Martha? He says, no, brother, I ain't trying to marry that girl. What you talking about? I ain't trying to marry that girl. I said, wait, hey, don't lie to me. Tell me the truth. People say, no, I'm trying to marry that girl. I said, okay, so I let it go. So the second time, I approached him again. Dad, they're saying that you're trying to marry Mary Martha. Tell me now, this is what you're trying to do. Now, this is what happened. When I came into the house, Mary Martha was running around the house talking about Bobby, 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 just cheering him on. Now, all I saw was Mary Martha, carnival darts, and camel toe. That's what I saw.
With her Bobby.
Okay, now
how
we're talking
was she at the time. Now, how old was Mary Martha at the time when she was running around with a camel toe out in probably your grandmother's house or your mother's house?
Right.
Naked,
right.
With her granddaddy. How old was she?
Well, she wasn't naked. She just was, just some camel toes and some carnival darts, Bobby, 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 Bobby. Okay, I don't know how old she was at the time. I don't know how old she was at the time. I think she's maybe a couple years younger than me. I'm not going to reveal my age because, I'm young forever. I'm not going to do that.
I got you. But this was in the 90s, correct? Because your grandmother passed in 95.
Yeah. Yes. And so how I knew that they were together and that they were a complete item is when he said, hey, you want some money? I said, sure. Break our brother off, So I upstairs and get my green bag. I go upstairs and get his green bag, and her house shoes are underneath his bed.
Oh.
Okay.
After he had just told you.
Oh,
I ain't trying to marry that girl. What you talking about?
What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you, boy? What's wrong with you? Asking that, boy? What's wrong with you? Ain't nothing but the devil. Ain't nothing but the devil.
That's what he said. And he is the devil. Sleeping with his granddaughter.
That's what Bobby Daddy said.
Now, mind you, he's still running the church that he took from your family after your grandmother died. Now,
right. Well, the idea was that when my mother passed, he would take over running the church with the idea that it would handle things accordingly.
Okay.
And that didn't happen.
Now, may I add and ask, was he actually 20 plus years younger? Your grandfather, your daddy, who is now married to your new mommy, who is your ex-cousin and niece.
Right.
Was he 20 years younger than your grandmother who passed in the 90s?
Yes, he was. Like I said.
So do you think he did the same thing to your grandmother, used her for her money and married her, as what your new mommy and his granddaughter is doing to him now? Because they have a kid together and she's rich.
Right? It's rich? Did you say rich?
Rich. Child, she in Italy with Versace. She on private jets with the church's money that your mama and grandmother and grandfather / daddy built.
Well, let's start here.
She flying private and bleaching her skin. Go ahead, sorry.
Right, we're going to get there. But let's talk about these restaurants.
Okay.
They said they're restaurants, right? She inherited these restaurants.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I would like to see these restaurants. I'd like to get the address to these restaurants. I'd like to go eat at these restaurants because I own 8.33% of them.
Oh.
So I haven't seen a restaurant. I haven't seen a fish stick. I haven't seen one French fry or a chicken dinner.
You petty.
I haven't seen. Can you give me the address so I can go visit, so I can get my free meal like my brother didn't?
Wow.
Now, when I say my brother didn't, we're going to get to the other stuff about the bleaching skin, but you have to know the concept of the true concept of everything.
Yes.
No problem.
Excuse me.
So here we go. You have to understand, you have to set everything up. My brother, Demetrius,
okay,
who's passed away. When we were younger, I've dealt with it. When we were younger, Bobby Daddy used to beat us. I mean, horrendously.
Your mother's second husband.
Right, which would be Robert Cosby, but I call him Bobby.
Okay.
Bob or Bobby Daddy. That's what I call him. But he beat us, and so he tried to force us to say that we were gay. Okay? And so he just went on and on for a very, very long time. It was horrendous. And my brother, he went ahead and said that he was gay because he was being beat. So he figured that the beating would stop, but it didn't. He tried to do that to me too, but I just wouldn't say anything. And so you have to understand that that's kind of the concept of the person that you're dealing with as far as Robert Bobby Cosby. Okay? And then once that my brother said that he was gay, then he beat him some more because he was gay. And as time went on, we didn't know the word, but as time went on, we understood that he was a homophobe. And that was something that he had some major issues with. Oh, wow. Okay? Right. So you have to understand.
You're not gay. You're married. You have kids.
No, I'm married. Hey.
Right.
Don't mess with the player.
Where's your wife? Tell her to get in here and get you together.
Right. But I'm saying, I'm wild. Wow. You look good. What's your name? So that was that situation right there. So if you know the chemical makeup of who he is,
okay,
as a person, then it's not surprising that he did what he did with and getting with Mary Martha. We're 20 years younger. My mom was 20 years older. Apparently she had some game. You know what I'm saying? There's some game there. I don't know. I was just a little kid watching Shirley Temple with the nanny. That's what we was doing. Watching Shirley Temple.
Rosemary was putting it down.
Apparently, because
she was younger.
Yeah, she got this young little yellow. I mean, did I say yellow? I'm sorry, Bob Daddy. I'm sorry. That's what. But okay, let's move on. All right. So 20 years. 20 years. Is he mimicking the same thing? Probably so.
Okay.
Because I think that he is. Because I remember when their son was 3, I called him on the phone trying to rectify the situation, and then he starts screaming at him. Get out of here, boy! Son, get out of here! Son, get out of my face! And I said, hey.
That he has with his granddaughter right now.
Right. So he's screaming at the kid. I said, what are you doing? I said, you treating the baby like you treat us? I'm sick of that boy. I said, why are you sick of him? All you want to do is play ball all day. I said, look, you need to be nice to him. Why don't I get off the phone with you so you can play ball with him? But he was completely rigid about the whole situation, which led me to believe that not only did he regurgitate his situation with my mother as he did with Mary, but also he carried on his abusive tactics on as well.
Wow.
You know, I gotta cut that off and then.
Yeah. So that's crazy. So he's now beating and abusing the son with his
I can only imagine. Right. You can only imagine because I mean,
who is his grandson and his son at the same time with his ex-wife's money.
Right.
Okay. Now let's talk about married a granddaughter who's your mommy now. Okay.
Mommy. Yeah. Let's talk about mommy.
Talk about her. She has lived a very interesting life.
Right.
You said it's not shocking that she actually married your dad, who is her granddad.
Yeah, it doesn't make it. Yeah, I'm not shocked at it. I mean, you know, Mary's about this. If you got the money, she's got the time.
Oh.
You know, that's what it's about. This is about the money. Who got the money? You know, she had a boyfriend that was all burned up. She was with him because he had the money. You understand? She was with the NBA players. Why was she with them? Because they had the money. Well, things happen with the NBA players and whatnot. There was a time when some of the NBA players that played with the Jazz, I knew who they were. You know, I knew them personally. And I ran into one of them at the grocery store, and he's telling me, you know, your cousin's out of control. Your family needs to get her under control. I said, is she that bad? He said, yeah, she's that bad. And so, you know, that happened, you know, and there was some situations where she was grooming some other individuals. I won't say any names. She was grooming some other individuals to, you know, kind of train them in the ways. You know, I think it's, you know, might have been a little pimping, but we're going to leave that alone. It's some pimping, you know. But as we move forward, the situation is, yes, he had the money. Okay. There was a vote. Okay. His PP went up. Bishops can't have PP up. Bishops have to have PP like this.
No, we're talking about dick.
That's right. PP, I said PP. I'm trying to be.
But I say dick.
Right.
Bobby's dick was hard.
That's right.
For his granddaughter.
Right. He's looking at her. And
he ran a church.
Right. And it should have been like
the church.
Right. It should have been either like this or like this till he got a wife, but it was sticking up. And so I think that, you know, and then the loss of his wife too, you know, you take that into account. And so all that starts happening. Mary sees an opportunity. His pee-pee's up. He wants some of that, you know, and then opportunity. So
and
essentially
she was very young. She was like 24, 25. And he was already in like his mid 40s when this happened. And your grandmother was in her 60s, of course.
Right.
Mary, your mommy, okay, who's married to your granddaddy / daddy, was actually married at the time.
Yeah, she was married at the time.
Was she contemplating marrying her granddaddy?
Yes. And so he used his position and authority to thwart their marriage or to cause stress into that relationship, so he would be able to divorce the two, so he would be able to, in front of our eyes, be able to marry her when he had already been messing around with her. He'd already been having a sexual relationship with her prior to. You see what I'm saying? And so this is the way that it is. And so after he was able to use the congregation and himself to separate them, then he was privy to be able to marry her openly. And then say, it was God. God told me to do this. It was God.
And it's shocking that the church that your grandmother literally slaved to build accepted her husband taking her money and marrying her granddaughter.
That's amazing that you would say it in that way. I have to talk about it now. You brought it to my mind. So the congregation split.
Okay.
Rosalind, her mother, didn't agree, and she left the congregation, taking, I believe, half of the church with her, and they left with her. The other half stayed. Okay? And whether one believes one is right, one believes one is wrong, these are the people. Okay? And so the people got got lost in translations. They got wrapped up into, or became part of a situation that was a family problem, and they became part of that situation. Okay, so they split. So some of the people, they went along with it. There was a recording I heard, yes, Mary. Yes, Mary. Yes, Lord. And she's just screaming at them. Yeah! She's screaming at them. Yes, Mary. Yes, Lord. So they agree with that. They're good with it. Yeah, they're paying them tithes out.
Yeah, because she is actually pastor in the church.
Right. That's right. So they
fly in private to eat lunch with Versace in Italy.
Well, you have to understand that Mary was paid 6 digits to marry him.
She was paid to 6 digits to marry her grandfather and have a baby.
Yes, it's all dirty. It's all dirty. It's all dirty.
I need one of them church fans right now. You know what I'm talking about?
You would need one, but I tell you what, I'm gonna say that.
I got no wine. Okay.
So that was the situation. I mean, yes, there are some that agree with it. It's not to them. It's not a problem. It's kind of a cattle mentality. I learned very early on, being a pastor's child, that there are some people that are forward thinking. There's some people that are cattle, and there's some people that need that kind of environment to kind of sustain them, to keep them kind of secured and kind of centered or whatever. And so you understand that. But those are the people that you're not supposed to take advantage of.
Right.
You're not supposed to take advantage of people who have a mindset that way. But for the most part, the cattle kind of stayed over with Daddy Bobby and my mommy Mary, and they stayed there, and that's kind of the way that it played out. But yeah, she was paid the 6 digits. She was in New York doing her thing, popping that thing, up in New York. Bobby Daddy wasn't there, but we won't go into any of that right now.
Oh, you got to tell us. So after they got married, she got that money. She flew to New York and spent that money
in the penthouse.
I love it.
Penthouse, in the penthouse,
Hey, you updating us on every show for every lie that she takes.
Oh yes. Oh yeah, hey, it's no problem, because they had that the video where they they send it in.
Yes.
The video just came up. What it was, I can't think of it. But they send it in. She says, I come from old money, but we're not rich. We're blessed. That's what she said, right?
Okay. Right. Yes. In the trailer in the premiere.
Right.
Yes.
Right. And so I'm thinking in my head, I'm thinking, well, this money that you're talking about, how you're rich and you're blessed or whatever, they said that my mother didn't have a will, but here we go. Now all of this money, all of these businesses have now surfaced. and all of this money has surfaced, and all this prestige has surfaced. You know, it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit.
Now, what would make a pastor, because she's a pastor and a first lady to her grandfather and baby mama, what would make her want to be a housewife for Bravo?
Okay, so I can't go into any details because I cannot rat out my friends.
Okay.
Okay? But I will give it to you the best way that I can.
Okay.
People watch TV. Okay?
Okay.
Let me back up.
Okay.
We come from a family that if we decide we want to do something, we do it.
Right.
Okay? That's in us. For the most part, we are workers. Okay? That's how we were raised. So if I say to myself, I want to do Z, and I know I have to go through AY to get there, my point is Z, I'm going to do it. So the idea was, you know, Housewives. She's watching Housewives and decided this is something that I want to do. And she made that decision. Okay?
Okay.
And so looking at, I'm not putting anyone down on the Housewives because they're very beautiful ladies. Very beautiful ladies. Very wonderful. But she realized that the way that she looked currently was not going to be viable for her to get on the show.
Mm.
And so she went into some deep planning. She went into bleaching of the skin.
Yeah, you sent me a picture and she was chocolate, like me and you.
Beautiful chocolate. Wonderful chocolate. But then she figured, the mindset of America is the lighter you are, the more accepted you are. But that is kind of an old kind of thing. Yeah, right. But she was kind of caught up into that. And so she changed her face. She knew she had to look a certain way. I guess she thought she would be accepted. So, you know, she did some work with cosmetic surgery. Disappeared for 3 years.
Mm.
The church, no one. So she was gone for 3 years. And when she came back light. Her face was new. And she was healing people. Right. Yeah, right. You know.
And her weave was matted. Every time I look at it on her Instagram, it's matted and tangled.
Either a wig, could weave or weave or wig. We weaving and wigging. Weaving and wigging. That's what we do.
I mean, she's the type of, like you said, you come from a family, you want something, you make it happen.
All of our family members are like that. If we make a decision, because it's innate in us because of Rosemary.
Yes.
It's what we are. So
I'm not gonna give you no fish. You're gonna go get your own fish.
All right, get to fishing.
Yes.
That's how she got down. So she made up her mind what she wanted to do, and that's what she wanted to do. She had the access to money. People popping up their money, tithes and offering. You know, they had a couple of gold nuggets. You know what gold nuggets are, right? Gold nuggets are people who, you know, they fish out. You know, instead of
the big ones, the big dogs.
Yeah, yeah. You know, so she had a couple of nuggets in there, and she used them to the best of her ability in the time that they were around. And now she's on Housewives. And so I'm asking myself, how long is she going to be able to sustain her viability as far as financially? How is she going to be able to sustain that? I'm just concerned.
Now, do you think your your daddy, which is her grandfather and husband and baby daddy, is going to make an appearance on this new franchise of Housewives of Salt Lake City?
I would hope that he wouldn't, because
the husband has to film. They have to. Part of the contract.
Well, if he makes an appearance, I hope that he wouldn't. But if he does, I'm asking Daddy to explain to me why my skull is fractured. I just want to know why he did that to me.
Oh, wow.
I want to know why he didn't give my brother a tombstone because he was gay.
Oh, wow.
I just want to know. I want to know why he abused many of the children, the boys in church, him and his cronies in their little meetings to make us men, beating us and whipping us and pretty much torturing us and holding needles under our legs doing the dying cockroach, and all that kind of things. And then, of course, the F word with the double G in the middle, that was their thing. Yeah, they got to call these young boys, elementary school children, elementary, 5th grade. I mean, they went up to high school students too, but they went all the way down to kindergarten. I mean, there's some children that are completely devastated to this day psychologically from that. I just want to know if he gets on there, maybe he'll tell Andy, he'll confess all that and tell Andy why he did it.
I've been told that finding your perfect match is almost impossible. Almost. Well, guess what, baby? No more swiping left. Because whether you want something big, something small, something new, or you just feel like dumping your old one.
Miss Dee of Imperial South Code is a licensed Georgia real estate agent who is here to help you to find your dream home or to help you get rid of that old one. No matter if you're a first-time buyer or empty nester looking to downsize, she can help you with all your buying and selling needs. Check out Miss Dee by visiting her website at www.imperialsouthcode.com.
No one is going to work harder to get you better results.
See, I enjoy oral sex, but to be honest, some of my experiences have been not pleasing due to lack of proper vaginal hygiene. I went down on this chick once, and the yoni was so good and fresh. It took me on like a whole nother level of just pleasure. So at that moment, I had to stop and ask, what are you using? And she told me, Embrace Pangea Feminine Wash.
We all know that a fresh yoni brings on a whole new level of confidence, so visit EmbracePangea.com, and of course, I got my winos covered for a discount, so use the coupon code TASHAK for 10% off your first order. AdamandEve.com. I'm talking toys, bondage, lingerie, and so much more. Plus, they have 24/7 customer service, so you can order at 3 a.m. if you ain't coming, if you get me, okay? And if something isn't working out, you can send it back within 90 days, no hassle. And if that's not enough, you can also take pleasure in knowing that 20% of their profits goes to help fight the spread of HIV around the world. So go on ahead and log on to AdamandEve.com. Use the code TASHAK for 50% off one item plus free shipping in the US and Canada. Some exclusions apply now, but hurry up and visit AdamandEve.com so they can make you come. The olive leaf extract can reverse high blood pressure and diabetic high blood sugar, or the sugar as some of our grandmamas may call it. It can also kill any nasty little bugs in your bodies like parasites, bacteria, fungi, tumors, and much, much more. And if that's not enough, you can also tell certain cancers like breast, prostate, colon, liver, and skin cancer to take a seat because the olive leaf extract has been known to fight it. And their friend lupus can get it too. So visit myoliveleaf.biz to help get your health in order. Did your grandmother know any of this was going on? I'm sorry, your mother, Miss Rosemary.
So here's what it comes. So she's completely engrossed in the ministry and building businesses and doing her thing. Completely engrossed. So in her mind, she said, oh, they're going out to have the meeting with the young boys and they're going to teach them to be young men and they're going to do their thing. And so in her mind, all of that was okay. And then she finds out later on, starting with my brother, and then a little bit later on with myself, what they were actually doing. Wow. You see what I'm saying? And so she was so busy. And one of her sermons, she says, well, if I was a man, I could just work. But I'm a woman, and so I need people to help me, pretty much because she has children and different things of that nature. So, yes, she didn't know, but she did find out later on after the fact. And so there were things that happened with me and my brother that we didn't tell her because we wanted to protect our mother. And so we didn't want her to be hurt or bothered with anything. We're younger, of course, Okay. When I was in the Marine Corps, I laid it down and said, this is what he is. This is the animal that he is. And so that type of thing. So
Well, I'm so sorry.
Yes,
I'm actually fractured from.
Yes. It was very embarrassing because my wife was there, and the doctor came out and said, this is good. And then he said, well, it looks like you have a fist print in your head. And I knew, because because that was his thing. Punching people in the head was his thing. Punching people in the head. And so that was his thing. And so I knew it came from that. And so that kind of thing. But from what I understand, he's graduated from punching little children in their head to punching women in their head. But they say allegedly, but that's what they do. But I know what he's doing. I know what you're doing, Bobby Daddy. I know what you're up to.
Ooh. Karma's a bitch. Now, tell us about you, because you no longer carry the Cosby last name. You have divorced your entire family.
Had to do it. I would say there's probably 2% of my family in its entirety that even like me.
Why is that?
I'm sorry?
Why is that?
I don't know. I'd like to figure it out. Well, in some cases, it's because Rosemary adopted me.
Okay.
And also adopted Demetrius, and so Demetrius was their A spoon coon. He was the apple of the eye and everything else, but that pressure got to him. But for me, I was like a bottom totem pole kind of thing. I guess, I don't know.
Okay.
But that's what it is. But the way that I was treated, and you'll look at that paperwork I sent you.
Okay.
And what I found out was that my siblings pretty much ousted me. You'll see in the paperwork where it says all of us are supposed to receive 8.33%, but you'll notice that, well, pretty much I didn't get notified that I was supposed to receive that.
Oh, wow.
And so all of them knew that, and they knew that I didn't get notified of it. And so when I found this out, I was like, you know what? They don't really care about me, so I need to divorce them. I'll change my name to Kelly, and that's a family name on Rosemary's side.
Okay.
And I'll have to, which is, I have to reboot my life back over again. But that's how I've tried to deal with it the best way possible.
What do you think she's gonna say when you see her putting like a foot on her storyline that she's about to premiere on one of the biggest shows on television right now?
Right. I would think she would say, "Oh, son."
You petty.
No. Son, mommy, give me my 8.33. And she would say, son, let me cut you a check. But I think actually she might be a little upset, but she's a road dog.
You know what's funny? I kid you not. I was telling my team about this story because I don't really tell anybody what I'm doing, but I was prepping them for this story, and I was like, yeah, she's a part of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. She's the only black woman, and when they went to look for her picture, they were like, well, which one is she? Because they're all white women.
Yeah.
And when I saw the before pictures that you sent me, she looks like a whole chocolate baby. And the fact that she did go through this extent to bleach just so she could fit in with an all-white cast on the show, that is insane.
Well, that's the opposite.
Your grandfather having a baby is insane too, but
Right. Well, yes, that's yeah. But I kind of feel for him. Let's get to the color and the changes first.
Yeah.
Okay. So the situation, we weren't raised in a situation where we would be ashamed of who we are.
Okay.
We were raised in a situation where we're being proud of who we are. And so it was an issue. It's a major issue for myself, and I'm sure there are other family members as well, that she changed herself so dramatically to try to fit into a box that's in her mind, that she says, okay, I have to look this way for success. I have to be this way to get into this position. And it's a very sad thing that she would put herself in that situation. And so that's kind of I don't know. I'm not in her head. I can't speak for her. I just know that Jen Shah and Mommy Mary Martha, they kind of look like they might have the same outfits.
Who
had
Jim Shaw? Who is that?
Shaw on the show?
Oh, yes. She is one of the housewives for the Salt Lake City franchise.
And so I think Jen might have been copying Mary Martha. I'm not sure.
The other way around.
Well, we won't know. We won't know. It's something that we just need to find out, because we need to find out who's copying who. Because if we find out who's copying who, we know who's on top.
Mary Martha was the chocolate baby girl who was your cousin, your niece. She bleached, became your mommy, married your grandfather / dad, and she is now the newest cast member on Andy's show, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. But she looked like one of the white women. Deli.
She does. She does. She, you know, if they was picking out black people,
they were.
She would just walk through the line.
And see, this is bad on Andy's part too, that the fact that a black woman would feel that she would have to go bleach just to be casted, but he probably feels, since the Housewives of Atlanta is one of the biggest franchise, it's okay. But no, that's not okay.
I'm saying, okay, the Housewives of Atlanta, they got a lot of beautiful chocolate.
Yeah, but that's the only franchise out of how many franchises that this man owns? That the black woman you happen to cast looks exactly like the white woman?
Right.
Yeah,
you know, Andy, I mean, Andy is this, I mean, Andy, help me out here.
Andy, help us out, because I hope she has been honest. I don't know what type of story she's trying to sell to the public. I can't see anyone being a fan of this. But like you said, some people are cattle, some people are sheep herders. So there's somebody for everybody.
Mommy Mary hasn't been truthful about her wealth. And so we know that. I'm just looking for some philanthropy.
Okay.
I need to see some good. I need to see her. She says she's a philanthropist. She needs to show some philanthropy.
Well, I guess preaching to the church is all the philanthropy she's going to do.
Well, is that considered philanthropy, though? Is that helping the greater? You know, there are also recordings of her screaming at the members about not
not paying
Don't
tax?
worry. Oh, well, you know, there's some people that have them. They'll probably be leaked at some point. I've heard them.
Oh, wow. Listen, if you get one of them, pass that right along.
Okay.
I need that. You okay? But no, you email me all of the receipts, okay? And I'm going to be posting the receipts as well. I do know that they were in court for 10 years over your estate, and it really got nowhere.
Right, it didn't get anywhere because the family members never really got together. As far as their children, and in the beginning stage, Demetrius and myself, the family could never really get together. There were some family members that pulled sealed court documents to try to prove that myself and Demetrius were adopted by Rosemary so they could get more money and they could oust us out of our inheritance. So you had all these weird things going on. But I'd like to address something that people don't really talk about.
Okay.
The people it's not about just our family. It's the people that love my mom, that attended the church and different things of that nature. They're victims of this whole thing. You see what I'm saying? They're victims. And so, but people don't really talk about about that situation. But Mary is the pinnacle of the abuse of all of these people's religious walks, their psyches, financially. She is the pinnacle of it. So whenever anybody watches it, that's part of it, they can see, well, this is the outcome of that kind of situation. But really, the people were actually have been abused. They have been misled, lied to, and that's kind of the situation. So I just want to just kind of say that I realize that that the family's not. We were victimized, but then outside of that, there have been a lot of other people, hundreds of people that have been victimized by it.
Okay. And she's still currently pastoring at the church that your grandmother built.
Well, if you go to the website, there used to be a picture of Bobby Daddy, and Mommy Mary Martha together. They cut off the picture.
What?
And so now it just shows him, but it does have her name on there. So we don't. Faith Temple Church. Well, yeah, just put in Faith Temple Church.
Faith Temple Church, Salt Lake City, Utah.
Yeah, you should be able to find it, no problem. But they cut off her picture and they just have his picture, but her name is listed as the first lady. So I don't know if she's planning for a divorce. I mean, we'll find out during the show. You never know. She may be planning a divorce. She may be planning her exit. Maybe she's got a boyfriend. Maybe he's got a boyfriend. I mean, there's so much stuff to check. Oh yeah, so you got to check out the show because you got to figure out what's going on, what kind of a first face they're putting on with the show. But I think she's moving on.
You think so?
I think
she's gonna. I think she was manipulated into marrying her grandfather and having a son.
Yeah, and she was forced. She wasn't forced. They gave her the money. She got down to the boogie oogie. That's what she did, and so it was okay. But I think I'm starting to get the feeling that she may be moving on.
Okay.
There may be a new beau later on down the road. We never know though, and I think you never know. Bobby Daddy, he did.
What do you think he's gonna say, or Mary is gonna say? Your daddy, grandfather, her grandfather, her husband. What do you think they're gonna say when they see this interview? When they see you? You just took a shot of the whiskey.
What can they say? What can they say?
Wow.
What can they say? Mary Martha, you have the email. You show the receipts.
Yes.
Mary Martha took from her mother, her aunts, her uncles. I guess I'm her uncle, cousin.
Wow.
She, with no abandonment at all. Bobby Daddy, abuse, children, years of doing it.
Mm.
And hopefully he hasn't to his son. I hope it should be probably investigated to see if he has done something. And so what are they going to say?
You petty. I love it. I love it. Samuel Kelly. Listen. For every lie that she tell, we need you back on the platform. I'm sure the winos are going to love you. I know that.
Oh, I think everybody. No, let's all watch the show.
Mm-hmm.
And let's find out. And so if I see any nuggets or eggs, if I see anything, let's get back together and talk about those nuggets or eggs. Because I can assume they're probably 12, 13 episodes.
Yeah.
Oh, well, let's have some fun.
Yeah. And you know what's funny is she really doesn't have a lot of screen time.
Oh, she doesn't?
Well, when I was watching the trailer, you can kind of tell the only type of screen time she had was when one of the housewives yelled at her. It's like, I'm not going to effing do this with a woman who married her grandfather. And then it just cut.
Andy's a beautiful guy. You might be setting this up. You never know.
I know.
But she does come from the line. She don't need a lot of screen time. She don't need it. It's the same thing for all of us. We don't need a lot of screen time. Give us 30 seconds and we'll captivate you.
Okay. Because that line alone, it was like, ooh, your granddaddy. And you got a baby?
Right. And
married to him?
Andy's foul. I love him. I love him. I'm glad that they found her and dug her up. She wanted to get on. She put it in. Hey, have at it.
And the fact that her name is Mary. Oh shit! I did not mean to do that. No, you know why? I am not in the business of flashing nobody's husband. Hold on. There we go. I pinned it back. It's been doing that all night. I said I wasn't going to raise my arms, and I did. As soon as I said this was Mary Magdalene.
Bam!
Bam! No! See how the devil worked? The devil is alive.
Don't edit that out. Don't you edit that out.
Okay, I won't. I'll leave it in. You silly. Samuel Kelly, thank you for this. Oh my God, just over the top story.
It is.
Like, this is, now I know there's something in the air in Salt Lake City amongst the Mormon church where this kind of stuff is permitted, you know. But
so let's cover that right now.
Okay.
All right. So I'm not Mormon, wasn't raised Mormon, but I will do this. So the Mormon church itself doesn't permit all that.
Okay.
They're offshoots of the religion.
Oh.
Okay. So that's kind of the way that it works. I mean, and I'm not getting on a platform for the Mormon church, but I'm just saying how it is. The Mormon church, you know, they're like any religion, they're an evolving group of people.
Right.
You know, as time goes on, they evolve. But that's something that that's not necessarily. That was this situation would be completely
using what the church allows, is what you're saying. And every church, not every church, most churches do that. They use it for their own financial gain, their own sexual pleasures, their own, you know, just kind of.
Wait a minute. Who's using church's sexual pleasures? Who's doing that?
Your daddy / grandfather that married his damn granddaughter and impregnated her, and he was 20 years older than her. 4 months after his wife died.
PP was standing up. PP was straight up. My grandma would say this, his dick was standing at attention.
That's
right. And he wiggled and wiggled.
Well, I need to go get baptized after this interview.
So let's get back together because I have more to tell.
Absolutely. This is just an introduction.
That's right.
Lies that she's probably gonna tell on the show.
Right. Well, hopefully the lies stop and she says, you know, I'm not into him anymore. I'm moving on. I'm not happy. I was forced in this situation, and she moves on and that type of thing. And then we'll be able to talk about that situation. But the question is, right now, where is Robert Cosby? He's like Waldo.
Yeah.
Where's Robert Cosby? Where's Bobby Daddy? No,
where's her grandfather / husband?
Right. Where is he? Is he hiding? Is he in deep consultation with the Lord? We must know this. Wow. Where's Bobby Daddy?
Where's Bobby? We putting out an APP to Winos. Please go find Bobby Cosby.
Right. If you see him, taking pictures. Is he alive? I mean, you never know. Maybe Mary has drained him like a vampire and has him wrapped up like a cocoon.
I'm just saying, you can't abuse nobody who's flying private to have lunch in Italy with high-end designers. Nobody forced her to do that. Nobody forces you to fly private.
No. No enforces. Nobody enforces you to copy Jen Shah's clothing. I mean, wait a minute. I don't know. I mean, we gotta find that out.
Okay.
But hey, everybody needs to watch that show. Let's all watch it together.
Yes, we will. Thank you so much, Samuel Kelly. Where can they find you?
Okay, so you can find me at ellisbeetle.com. So that's ELLISBEETLE.com. ellisbeetle.com. I got a lot going on. Just go there and check out what I'm trying to get down.
All right, coming straight out of Salt Lake City. Thank you. Right. Thank you to your beautiful wife.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much.
She's hiding. That's okay. She's got to stand hiding. They might come for her.
No, they won't come for her. They won't. We will definitely have you back here, okay? I know you keep updated on everything that she has going on, so I appreciate you. All right, we're back. All right, thank you so much for an interesting chat box. Okay, I hope y'all enjoyed the interview. Guys, listen, the show is gonna premiere November 11th. It will offer some more clarity. And this interview will make a lot of sense. It was a lot of tangles and web, but Mary Cosby, the new star of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, okay, is the, what is the word that you want to call it? I can't even think. I ain't had no damn sleep, really, y'all. Anyway, she's the, not the missing link. I can't even think. Damn. I need some wine. But anyway, I'm not drinking tonight because I am taking a moment of silence, all right, for Brandy Arsenault. I hope I'm saying her last name right. Now, do you guys have any questions before I move on to tell y'all what happened last night? I'm hungry as hell, too. Oh, my God. Can't y'all tell my eyes and stuff? I've been crying. It's been a rough night. You just want to know where Bobby Daddy at? I will put the Bobby Daddy pictures on my Instagram, okay? But Bobby Daddy is still living in the house with his wife, okay? Mary Cosby. Did she die? Did who die? No. I'll explain that in just a second, okay? I need some glasses too, child. My glasses upstairs. I know, it was a hot mess. It was a hot mess. Now, okay, let's move on real quick because I'm going to go have a dinner, okay? Because I've been trying to rest up all day and stuff like that. We will be back next week, okay? Live, in color, all right? Full-fledged, drinking, all right? And shutting shit down. Now, so last night, I was in a very, very, very traumatizing situation, okay? So everybody in my house had gone to sleep. Brandy Arsenault from, I hope I'm saying her last name right. It's kind of hard to say, but I hope I'm saying it right. From Bad Girls Club Season 5. She's been off the radar for 10 years. I think she did just like one season of the show. It was, and then she disappeared. Well, she reappeared last week, about 6 days ago to be precise, okay, on social media after the girls had announced that there was going to be a Bad Girls Club reunion. So I guess she had got wind, and so she got on social media and proceeded to ask questions that a lot of fans wanted to know pertaining to some other cast members on Bad Girls Season 5, okay? Now, this is over 10 years ago, guys, okay? And so she's telling me about it. She jumps in my DM because she's getting bullied for answering questions concerning another cast member stabbing somebody in the head in Jamaica, and the production, okay, the network buried that story, okay, so that they wouldn't have to assume liability. So it was never heard about. So Brandy kind of rearose, confirmed that story, and then all of the girls, I guess, that she was on the show with just started trashing her. You know, fans started trashing her, not knowing that Brandy is sick, okay? And so I'm trying to tread lightly with this because she's still sick. And so for those of y'all that saw me upload last night pleading and asking for you guys to help call 911, it was a lot. So Brandy jumps in my DM last night. You know, she drops her number. She said, I'm so tired of this. They're trashing me. I want to put my story out there. So I jump on FaceTime with her. Yes, I have an iPhone now. Okay, I have an iPhone.